I'm here today with Arturo Henriquez. So, where I always like to start is just kind of get the audience to know kind of who you are, what you stand for, and how you got into this business. Do you mind to give us just a tiny bit of an origin story of kind of how you
Sure,
got here?
sure. So, back when I didn't know anything, back when I was 22, 23, fresh out of college, I had a great corporate career job. I'm from Mexico originally. I'm dual citizen, and NAFTA had just came on. And for a lot of people that haven't don't know what NAFTA is, it just a free trade agreement between Canada, Mexico, and the United States. But basically, I was in the banking industry, opening up Bank of America in Mexico. So for a 22-year-old, my career path, the corporate path, was going, like a Learjet going straight up, right? However, unfortunately for me, I had that entrepreneur itch. I needed to, my dad was an entrepreneur, my grandparents were entrepreneurs, and I thought I can make a lot more money. And so, me and a couple of friends and a cousin, we decided to go into the tequila space, right? Because the tequila got the denomination of origin in this NAFTA treaty, and so only tequila could be produced in in Mexico, in certain regions of Mexico. And we thought that was just the perfect opportunity. Not going to get too involved into how we got into it. We got into it, and we had a tequila. We created a tequila company, a brand, and we started getting some headway. And creating a brand is, very well, it's very difficult.
What's the when you first decided to buy your first business? What did you not know at that time that you're pretty skilled at this time?
Well, the mystery, it's the mystery of the unknown, right? So think about this. I've been in 18 different industries. So of course I didn't know anything about any one of those industries prior to me buying a business into them. The biggest one is anyone can do this. One, two, don't let your lack or your what you think is lack of experience, detain you, and understand that you're going to buy something that's already running prior to you buying it and will be running after you buy it. The key here is not you don't have to be the skilled man. You don't have to be the or woman. You don't have to have those skills.
That a lot of people think business is a marathon or a sprint, and you got to run the whole race yourself in order to get the ribbon at the end. He said it's not; it's a relay. And what you really can do is just pick up the baton from somebody who's run 3/4 of a mile and run the last part of it for him and still
Yeah.
win.
And there's a lot of courses out there and programs and teaching you how to get into different types of businesses, right? And they all talk about creating wealth, right? And that's key, wealth.
What strategy did you start with inside of that realm?
Yeah, well, it's the best type of structure is the LBO, right? The leverage buyout, and so, but there's a lot behind what an LBO could be, right? It could be a combination of seller financing. It could be a combination of seller financing and asset based lending. It could be a partner. It could be so many different other things. An SBA loan, or a combination of all of the above and others.
What is kind of a myth inside of this industry that you just wish didn't, you could dispel right now? Like there's a common, every industry has them. They're like, there's things that people believe that are not necessarily true, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah. So
inside of the buying and selling businesses,
yeah, two of them are direct. One is you need money. You don't necessarily need money. No, you don't. Now, is it harder? Of course, it's harder, right? If you can, whip out a check for $100,000, well, of course, it's easier. But you don't need money, and most of the students that have come into my program don't have money. They don't have a bunch of savings, tucked away. So they have to be creative, and we teach them how to be creative so they can buy businesses. So that's one. And the second one is that you have to have prior experience, right, in business. And again, that's a big myth. And I'll use the restaurant example again. I didn't know how to manage a restaurant. I didn't know how to cook a sandwich, make a sandwich for myself in my own kitchen, let alone manage a restaurant. You do not need prior experience. And here's the key: that fine-tuned symphony, which is what it takes to run a business. We talked about starting a business. To start a business, you have to have so many variables, come together in place at the same time, like a fine-tuned symphony. That business was running before you bought it, and that business is going to be running after you bought it, because processes are already in place, the product and the service are already accepted in the market, right? The people that need to run the various different aspects of the business are already in place, right? There's a brand that's already established. There's market share, and here's the key: it's profitable. Absolutely. So even I'll up that. Um, my best deal has been a bar. So if a restaurant's risky, a bar is riskier, right? And had I gone into it with that mindset of I don't want to be in this industry, right? So we teach our students, you have to have a deal criteria, right? You can't be
Mhm.
throwing darts kind of in the dark. You have to know why, what kind of business you want, what industry, and the whys, right? What are your objectives? What do you want to do? It's a whole objectives and deal specifications. So I would also challenge a lot of people to look past the idiosyncrasies of what you think an industry has, the good and the bad, and look at the deal. Look at the deal more than the industry. And you're probably going to get a lot of duds in industries that tend to be difficult.
What is the thought process of developing out that buying criteria is something that you would think would be a good business for somebody to buy?
Yeah. There's the personal aspect as to why, right? The why are you buying a business is obviously money is one, but is it, to get out of your corporate job? Is it because you're a freelancer? Is it because, like yourself, you were in the real estate game, but you wanted to, up your game and buy, so there's the why, right? So you have to be clear on that. But that why also has consequences, right? If I want to buy a business and I'm in a corporate job with a 9 to 5, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, and I want to buy a business but I want to spend the same amount of time with my family, then that's going to limit certain businesses, right?
What question should I have asked? What have I missed here?
Yeah, I think the big one is how much how much knowledge do you need, technical versus the art of the deal, right? What weighs more? And and the answer to me is the art. The art by far is the most important aspect of buying a business.
Any parting message you want people to hear or to know?
No, just you don't need experience, you don't need capital, and buying a business, you're going to save yourself a lot of headaches than starting a business.